Karen V Miguel.
Hello, everyone.
Today's live stream is going to be on my part, how crochet has changed my life. This is going to be a super positive live stream, and I want you guys to participate in this live stream too. Even all in the comments right now, give me stories about how crochet has changed your life. But before we get into all of that, I want to say hello to Karen. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Alysha. I love being here with you, of course. And I'm doing good today. I haven't gone live for a little while, so this is a lot of fun for me. And I'm excited to talk about like inspiring stories about your like crochet too. And then too, I'm like, if you want to talk about yarn or any other questions that you have for either of us, I'd be like, I hope everyone is like ready to ask lots of questions.
Oh, and before we start anything right now, I wanted to say a special hello to Melanie Williamson. I hope you're in the crowd right now. If you're in there, I see you. I see you. You just said, "Yay!" Hold on, let me
Melanie.
pull her up.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be like so good. Oh, okay, you did it. Oh, see how good and fast you are at this. I'm
Okay,
so
guys, I haven't did a live either. My last live was like the first week of December. I think I did one. Oh yeah, I did one with Hook by Robin. She's
well.
so wonderful. I had to do my famous crochet yarn drop.
And you're like in this live, you'll see like the master and the Padawan.
Did you watch The Mandalorian?
I love the Mandalorian.
That's
Yeah.
why Padawan. That's why I stuck in my head right now that episode with Grogu. But we're not talking about Star Wars.
Oh
But I
my god,
love.
he's so cute. When the Mandalorian came back to like the book of Boba Fett, I was excited because
Yeah.
I thought the whole Boba Fett book was getting kind of like, I don't know.
I
It
mean,
wasn't.
I am giving Disney some love because they're giving older actors a chance. Usually, actors are under the age of like 35. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're not a doctor. Shut up. Give me somebody, the actor that plays Boba Fett. He's from New Zealand. He is 61 years old, and mm,
I know. I
he's
know.
yeah.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
take, okay, yeah.
You know what I really like about The Mandalorian? They have the guy from Kim's Convenience on there as like a TIE fighter. And I'm like, go Asians. Oh yes. And he's like you said, he's like older, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, like it's just like yeah, that's amazing. I think all they need now is to like put like Shang-Chi, that guy, like from have you seen
Yes, of
Shang-Chi?
course. Yeah.
Yes, okay, yeah.
The legend
So
of.
yeah, but the guy from Kim's Convenience, I'm like so proud of that guy. Canadian, what?
Raise it up. Oh, let me hop into the comments real quick.
Yes, please.
Anybody, where you from right now? Give me some positive crochet stories, and let me hop into the comments and see who's here. You don't
For
mind?
once, oh gosh, please do. For once, I remembered to bring my wine.
Oh,
I hope you all have something to sip on today, ladies. Okay, let's get this right.
my
Ting, am I on the
favorite.
right
Oh
line?
wait, I was the wrong way. Bing. Whenever I see cherry, I have to go cherry pop. The song. Hey,
Yes.
I'm being weird. Hey, Alysha, love crochet makes me happy, and I love giving my projects away. So
Oh, I love it.
we've
Oh,
been
and then we have
talking.
a little Canadian baby here. Just thought I'd pop that on too.
Hey, Canada babies.
I wonder what'll happen if we both put a comment on it at the same
Ready?
time.
Count of three.
One,
1, 2,
two, three.
3.
Oh,
Like me better.
yours came up. I think I clicked
Yeah.
too late. I just want to say hi to Shelly, who's tried my new slipper pattern. Thank you. I hope it worked out for you. Is that on the Addy, or are you? Actually, why am I thinking it's my slipper pattern? Alysha has like a bajillion
No,
slippers.
it's probably hers. I haven't did
I'm
an
like,
Addy
oh
pattern.
yeah, my one slipper pattern on my channel. Of course, you've tried it.
All right. So we'll hop into. Maybe I'll ask you a question first.
Yes.
So with crochet, crochet has changed your life. What was one of the beginning moments? Do you think how crochet changed your life? It doesn't have to be about business. It can be a moment of meeting people. It can be an experience, a feeling.
Yeah. I think honestly, I'm gonna probably I'd probably say one of the first memories I have of crocheting because when my mom taught me how to crochet, I learned how to create like doll clothes. And literally all I knew how to do was chain and double crochet. I don't even think I knew what single crochet was. So that is like one of my earliest memories of crochet. And it's funny because it doesn't, like, from what I knew back then to what I know now, it doesn't feel like I've learned that much more. It's just that you learn so much more of what you can do with the stitches that you have. And
Mhm.
yeah, and then when I learned, like, the other big pivotal thing for me was when I felt like, because all my life I was like crocheting just, kind of hokey stuff,
Yeah,
like,
me too.
the typical stuff that you make, like doll clothes and like purses for myself. And then I started trying to make other stuff, like things for like my bedroom and all that. But then when I realized like you can actually make crochet into like stylish kind of things, that was pivotal for me. And that didn't happen until like that was before I even decided it was going to be like a business, or I tried putting it online or anything like that.
Mhm.
So I think that was the big ones for me. How about you?
Okay, well, I'll tell my pivotal story. Why don't you work on the background and get the ticker at the bottom?
Oh yeah. Oh, I
So,
don't remember how to do that.
oh, you go over to the right-hand side of your screen.
Okay.
I think it's called banners.
Okay.
You see it?
This one?
There it is. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. Thank
All
you.
right. So when crochet for me, you guys, if you've been following me for a while, you know I learned how to crochet when I was 7 years old. My grandmother taught me. And that following year, my family moved to a brand new neighborhood, which wasn't very diverse. Out of the hundreds of students in my elementary, K through sixth grade, I was the only person of color. I was the only Black girl there. My grandma, knowing this and knowing the transition from moving to schools with different friends and feeling singled out, I was able to sit with my grandma and have these like crochet lessons. And it helped me like calm my nerves while going through this. It seemed horrific when I was 8. I mean, I'm much older now, but those things you wouldn't realize. I think back, like, if my grandmother didn't feel like, oh, she needs something right now, let me teach her a skill, would I be here today?
Mhm.
That's what's crazy.
I know, because like you remember when you learned that first skill, and to think it's brought you all the way here. Is your grandma still around these
No,
days?
she passed away.
Oh, and
And,
she's looking at you and she's very, super proud, right?
and that's another thing. Like when you have somebody who taught you something who's passed away, even though she's been gone for so long, you like lose certain memories about things. But
Yeah.
as soon as you pick up like yarn, you pick up look at a stitch pattern. I instantly remember sitting at the foot of my grandma's lazy boy chair because she always sat there and she had one of those crocheted where you put your magazines on the side of the couch. You'd have all her hooks right there. And she would keep all her yarn in like a garbage bag behind the couch because my granddad, old school, like, you can't have all that yarn everywhere. I wish my husband would. But you know what I mean? It was so
Yeah.
cute.
I just want to say hi to Sylvia. Thank you for dropping by, my dear. So good to see you. And but it's funny that you mentioned that too, because like, and when the effects that like crochet has on like your upbringing and your childhood, I remember when I realized that you can make anything out of crochet,
Yeah.
and when I figured out how to make a rectangle without dropping or adding stitches on. I was in grade, I think, like 4, and then I
Mhm.
decided to make a crossbody purse and
Yeah.
then crochet it onto, like, my mom was hemming my dad's jeans, so I took the jean rectangle and I crocheted onto, like, I sewed the crochet onto the jean, and I made a jean purse that was crochet on the other side. And
How old were you?
I was, like, in grade 4. Yeah.
Oh,
I started, like, because I would hack around. I'm surprised I never broke my mom's sewing machine. But then I went to school and, like, I was the only Asian kid there, right? So, like,
yeah.
and they, like, everybody was like, there was nothing special about me. I just went out and played. But then I remember when I wore my purse to school, I felt like that was, everyone's like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? And I was like, oh, I made it. And then it was the first time people were like acknowledging something I did. And then when you feel kind of special for once.
Yeah, I know exactly what you feel. Like
Yeah. And it
sometimes
was,
when you're the only, you're like, you want to be in the back, but you also want to be seen for something other than what makes you different than everybody else.
yeah. And it was like one of those times where I did something very regular And then it seems special to others. And I'm like, wait a sec, I could do something cool. And that's what I hope everybody realizes, that when you have a talent, a skill in art, you can do something cool that like not everybody can do. That's why I'm so proud of like my daughters and my kids when they go to school and they do something. Like my son loves playing chess and my daughter likes drawing pictures, and they get like people around them get excited when they kind of like will show their hidden talents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'll get into what I want to say after this one. But Shelly
Yeah.
Love says, it was stress relief and it feels good. Now people request for me to make things to do and side hustle for me. So I love it.
Right? That's the thing. And like I like just being able to like coach students, one of the biggest things I got to talk people out of, and this is the biggest thing. People are like, suddenly when people are offering to buy the things that they make, the beautiful things that they make, you got to get out of that mindset like, oh my God, they just asked me for that because they feel sorry for me. Like everybody, I'm telling you, I felt the same. Like, oh my gosh, you just bought that hat because you feel sorry for me. Like it took me forever to get over that feeling. But just like, I just would hope that everybody realized that you have a gift that other people may not have, and that it's your duty almost to put it out there in whatever way that you can.
And don't be ashamed of it, because people will shame our craft like it's nothing amazing. How many people crochet? But Ivy Valentine says, crochet changed my life because it keeps me calm. It's good for anxieties. And it's so much fun to see what you can create with a string.
Exactly. Like
That's
who
exactly
can make a piece of string into an entire garment, right? And yes, Catherine, that was you. And we all can do that. We're making things into things that people can use and wear. So there's like, I just want everyone to own that joy and like really enjoy it.
Remember how you said, crochet is something special. That's another moment where it changed my life. All my life, I dreamed I had a talent. I'm like, I wish I had a skill. Everybody I know has a skill. I'm like, if I just had this, I'm going to like run with it to the moon. And behind the scenes, I'm sitting there crocheting, not realizing this is a skill that could change my life. Once I realized this is something unique, I gained minus a stress relief, meeting people I've never met before. You're my first Canadian.
That's so. You're my big first YouTuber.
I don't feel that big, but crochet.
You make my cool factor go really high with my kids.
I'm cool.
Yeah. I know. Like it's yeah. Being a YouTuber, it's so different, right?
My kids don't think. Oh, did I pull that up, or that was me?
Oh, there. Okay, cool.
Could you read it next for me so I can sip my wine?
I taught myself to crochet using YouTube tutorials age 70 while hospitalized during COVID, not visitors. My first projects were all back loop only because I misunderstood the direction. That's like one of the hardest things to learn. I feel like once you know how to do back loop only, oh my gosh, you can cable knit, you can make anything, like you can make anything with texture, and you learn the hardest things first. Good for you.
And I love that, even because I can't imagine being in a hospital during COVID. You can't contact your family. But I'm not saying crochet is the next best thing, but it was able to keep you focused on something else, able to create something with your hands when you're done. So now that I hope that you're healthy and better, you're out of the hospital. You got your nice, like, this is my COVID survivor blanket. You know what I mean? It's a keepsake forever, just because this is what you did during a horrible time in your life.
Yeah. That's one of the things. There's always memories in certain designs that you have. Don't you find? Like the purse I made, and I think you remember that I've been crocheting for a while too. And then when my husband got sick, we had to go to the hospital for a lot of his like tumor treatments and that sort of thing. And I just brought it's so portable. You could take it. It's like a little package you could take with you that you can bring with you that is like your little piece. It's your piece. pack it. Like,
Yeah.
if you put all your crochet stuff together, you know that when you get yourself settled into a doctor's waiting room or a waiting room at the hospital, that you're going to be able to just enjoy what you're doing, and you could bring your portable creativity with you. That's why I love going away totes, because I'm like, I know that a lot of us, we do a lot for others. We bring it with us. We have to wait for special people who have appointments, and we sit there and we crochet, and it doesn't even bother us, because you're like, okay, I'm going to finish the sweater.
Yeah. I got another question for you.
Yeah.
When did you decide crochet was like more than your hobby? When did you say, you know what? I want to do something more?
I knew when the feeling that I got, like that really happy feeling when I'm crocheting, or like the peaceful feeling, it never went away. Like there are certain I don't know, there are certain hobbies that I would have that when I would be doing it, eventually I stopped enjoying it. Right.
Yeah.
I can't even think, like, I'll be honest, I don't love sewing as much as I like crocheting. But with crocheting 24/7, I can enjoy it as not like even. And do you ever find too, like when you're crocheting, you lose the feeling of being sleepy? Like I could pick up
one last row.
Right? Like I could forget, like I could pick up a crochet hook and a project that I'm like, okay, I finally have time to work on this at like 10 p.m. and crochet until 2, and that feeling of being tired is gone, because I just want, like, you get kind of like energized just from the creativity of it. That's like, so how did I know when it was like more than just crocheting? I don't know, like that feeling, when I knew that feeling never went away, and yeah, that's the, how about for you?
Well, crochet was always my excuse to escape. Let's say where I used to work, used to work in group home setting. I love working with the kids, but in the evenings, sometimes I'm not a talker. I might seem social here, but when I'm in a working atmosphere, if the work is done, I crocheted so I wouldn't have to talk to anybody. So crochet was my barrier against the world, like 1, 2, don't talk to me, 3, so I could block. But that's when people started noticing, like, wow, can you make me one? You can sell this. I'm like, so you guys might know this story. That's when crochet went from a hobby to like being a stress relief, being something to just get me away, to becoming a career that helped my family, that changed my life. I don't want to sound like you know what? This is going to be a crochet testimonial. We in crochet church on Sunday.
Right?
Because of
Take
crochet.
it to church.
Man, because of crochet, during this pandemic, I'm able to help my son during school. I don't have to worry about where to find a babysitter. I'm not owing anybody time but myself. Everything is flexible and on my time, all because my grandmother taught me a skill when I was 7 years old. Now I have the freedom to do things I never imagined I can do.
Exactly.
Crochet has, like, my plans for my life did not include any of this. This was never on my top 10 to do before I die.
Yeah. To me, crochet was like, okay, it was like, I describe this analogy all the time. Like, it's like riding a bike. Like, I can't believe I made a career out of something I always knew how to do. And it was nothing really that special until it was. Right.
Yeah.
And like for me too, like, I think one of the biggest pivotal things, like when did I decide to like do more than crochet? When I knew the feeling wasn't going away and I actually wanted to crochet for others. I was ready to crochet for others. But then when it turned from like hobby business to like, whoa, I'm going to quit my job and do this. that was like baptism by fire. Cause like, I still, even after I went to Hollywood and everything, I never quit my job. Like I was like, oh, I'm not sure this is going to be my full-time gig. It was when it just kept growing. And what I'm telling you, once you put it out there, it will keep growing, just like your Afghan. The more like you touch on it, the more it's inevitably going to keep growing. So yeah.
Oh. All right, and guys, I know I'm about to hop into the comments right now.
Yes.
And if you have any type of story how crochet has changed your life, please put it in the comments right now. Put question marks in front of it so I can see it and pull it to the front. But This also leads me down to the ticker down below. If you guys want to know exactly how to sell your items, to make a little side hustle, vacation money, or whatever you want to do, Karen, I'm just a student. She was my teacher.
Oh,
She
yes.
can teach you how to turn crochet into a business. Right now, just book a free consultation call. It's down below in the link. So let me hop in here.
Thank you, Alysha. That's sweet. And yeah. Oh, here, I'll read it for you. My mom
Okay, thank
taught me
you.
to knit because she was going on a trip and I needed dishcloths. Found crochet spoke more to me. As a guide, crochet freed me to explore my creativity. Awesome, Corey.
I love a man that crochets.
Me too. Cheers to that.
You don't see too many. That's going to be one of my next video. I need to
Ooh.
find more men that, I know there's a lot of men that crochets, but all the men that crochet, I'm not allowed in your Facebook groups because they're all for men. So I'm like, I can't come like sneak on you like, hey, how you doing?
A guy won my last giveaway, one of my last giveaways. I was so excited. I think it was Tony. Tony, if you're watching, hey, I hope you're enjoying the yarn. So I love that. And too, like I find that a lot of people too, like crochet helps them a lot with things like depression or anxiety. And the truth is, like in this day and age, especially during COVID, people need an outlet. And if you already have that, it's probably helped a lot of us more than people who don't have something that they can latch onto. That's why I think that the interest in it has grown so much, because it's not that hard, but once you get doing it, it's absolutely beautiful.
And it is addictive. I got one more.
It totally is.
My girl, unapologetically mocha. My mom taught me to crochet when I was 10, but I didn't really take it seriously until 2018 when my parents got sick and I was taking them to doctor's appointment and staying with them during the hospital stays. That's what you were talking about. It's a sad situation, but you're able to create something during this painful event.
Yeah. Like it's got me through like a lot of time, especially during COVID too. That was another curve. Oh, bless you.
I'm sorry.
Well, you know me, but halfway through this, my nose is going to start running.
And just start doing this.
Yeah.
That's her rubbing her nose. I know her well.
Yeah.
She had a continuation to her. She says, after they passed away 3 months apart, I'm sorry to hear that, it was something that I could do to keep me sane, but reminded me of them at the same time. So it's a business and a comfort for me.
Yes.
Definitely.
And that's the thing too. Cheers to that. I'm going to take a sip of that. Nothing too. I like keeping up with I like helping people with like business stuff too. Like I don't mean to always bring it back to business,
no,
but like, honestly,
that's fine. That's what we know.
Yeah, it's fun for me. Like ever since I was a kid, and I think my son is like this. I know he's like watching upstairs, but I always liked working and business, and then helping other people find work and business. So to me, it was when did I also the other part of my business is like helping other people start businesses, or if they and it's not so much to me, I'll be totally honest. Sure, it can make you money, but I just want people to share it in the way that they want to, to put it out in the world the way that they feel comfortable, in the way that they improve, it improves their life and it brings them joy. Because honestly, if a business isn't something that you're enjoying the process of doing, then maybe it's not for everyone. And it totally isn't, because even my husband, he's like, not everyone wants to start a business. And I'm like, I totally get that. I just want people to love it as much as I love it. And if one of the ways that they love it is putting it out there so that they can, create extra income for themselves or whatever, good for them. That's what I'm all about. I just want people to help growing a business on their terms that makes them happy at their own pace, as long as they're just taking action on it.
Okay. Another comment. This is from Roberta. Just a comment, not a question. My mom taught me and I taught my kids, one boy, one girl. My son took his hook and crocheted while in Afghanistan. The locals taught him to weave yarn from goat hair.
Wow.
That's awesome.
My crochet changed when COVID shut down the world. Having always been a history nut, I turned my energies to researching crochet history and creating items from the 1970s back. Well, she probably watched your last video too, right?
Oh, really good. Did you watch my last crochet history video?
Oh, it's so good.
I would love to do one of like the older, like the Irish crochet patterns, but girl, I'm afraid of those crochet thread. I'm afraid of the steel crochet hooks. I'm afraid of such small stitches.
Okay, Alysha, this
But
is the thing. Like, this is, you're like, what did I do wrong? This is one of the things that I loved. I had no idea about that. Okay. When I first started crocheting when I got back into crocheting when I was in my 20s, I was crocheting doilies in my apartment. Okay. And you're like, ew, doilies. And I didn't care how long it took me because I bought the thread and I'd make these doilies. And I'm like, I don't know where to put this. Should I use it as a tablecloth, or should I use it as like, I just put my stereo on it or whatever? But the thing is, that's what got me into designing, because I'm like, wait a second. And here's a tip for all of you, a golden nugget for anyone who's watching. I got a lot of my inspiration using Irish crochet lace patterns in regular garment and hat stitch patterns.
I see it now in all of your, like, the beautiful, like the cape.
Yeah. That's what I did. I'm just like, okay, this is a gorgeous, but I'm not going to sit here all day and make 4,000 stitches like this to finish a tablecloth.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a higher gauge yarn and recreate the stitch pattern so it can be made into like whatever, like a purse or a hat or a scarf. Oh my God, scarves. When you create like Irish stitch patterns from a lace diagram into a scarf, boom, your own design, right?
Brand new pattern, different hook, different gauge.
Ponchos galore. Like, that is this is the stuff I love sharing with people, because I'm just, whenever I'm talking to new people who are interested in doing stuff, I'm just like, oh my gosh, let me help you for a second. If it pops in my head, I'm going to mention it.
Yeah. Now you said your husband's always like, not everybody wants to start a business. That's my problem. As soon as I see somebody with a talent, my head clicks in a different direction. I'm like, did you try this? They're like, it's a hobby. So we're not trying to push you into a business, but
yeah,
I'm happy.
But it's totally about like not like operating like not using your crochet as something that you treating it with scarcity. Like, once you start holding back, then you're not doing the art any favor. Because someone commented like crochet is an art, but once you start holding back in your artistic ability when what you make, then you start holding other things back. Just like whenever I hear an opportunity for someone who has a knack for it, you absolutely must capitalize on what it is that you do.
Oh, do you have a comment you're about to pull up, or?
No, I was just, my screen was saying new comments, so I'm missing ones.
So for me, crochet, people see me online, like I say, they think I'm entertaining and fun. I am an introvert. I'm quiet, but this whole crochet thing, I realize I'm only quiet because I don't have the people like me around. I'm narcissistic. All of you are just like
you are not.
All of you love yarn. I need to be surrounded with people who love yarn. So when I talk to other people on a regular basis, they just don't get me. So therefore, I'm not quiet. I'm not introverted. I just needed more like-minded people. I've met so many amazing crocheters, like people I used to like dream about meeting, you know what I mean? Watching online, like, wow, I would like to talk to you one day. And like,
that was me and you. I remember watching your early videos and I'm like, look at her. She's just doing her thing.
My videos were so rusty too when you were watching.
I couldn't believe years later that we actually like became friends. Like, I can't believe it.
Oh, everybody right now, how crochet changed our lives. What was it, like 2 years ago? Whatever. I always had my Saturday live streams, and Karen was always in the comments. I've always talked to you in the comments. You're my faves. I do get to know you. Look what happened.
Right?
She's my crochet best friend right now.
Oh,
I am so glad that she said hello on a live stream, and it's been like.
I still remember when you invited me onto your channel, because I was like, it was a sip and stitch or something like that, and then and I had been sipping, and then I fell asleep and woke up again. And then I got back back on the comments. Oh my gosh. And then you're like, hey, Karen, why don't you just hop on one time? And I'm like, oh my God.
Wait, here's one comment.
Yes.
Sarah says, crochet has given me something to do, something creative to do. It's relaxing. Learning new stitches pattern is mentally stimulating. I feel like I'm preserving a part of history. And you are.
You are. You're part of history and carrying it on to modern day. That's what I love about it, because like you could see the way people are spinning crochet now, and or like designing with crochet, and it's on the runways. If you saw like Chanel's and Bottega Venetti's newest like 2023 line, there's crochet everywhere.
Oh, that my next video coming out tomorrow.
What?
Crochet and fast fashion. If you ever wonder about those, what are they? Sheen, Fashion Nova, those places. So you wonder why crochet costs $5. Watch that video tomorrow. It comes out at like what, 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. Shameless plug. But I researched that.
It's interesting that you said that, because I noticed this at trade show. I'm going off a little bit, but
go ahead.
But I noticed this like at trade shows before we went into like lockdown and stuff. Because the last crochet, like when I was walking trade shows, I was looking for yarn suppliers, and there were like foreign exhibitors, and they would advertise their new lines as like crochet. But then when you looked at it, it was like machine punched. It was like it's machine punched onto lace or something like that, and it's
made from the Comez, COMEZ machines. They make fake crochet. It's
right.
lace or whatever.
Right. And then I was like, okay, it looks like crochet, but you know, it doesn't have the texture and the depth of it. So, and as an artisan, you and I both know what it looks like for real, but I'm just like, interesting. Like, this is how they're doing, but like, it's really, ultimately it ends up being up to the consumer, how much texture and quality they really want to get out of it. But I tell you, like, once you wash one of those things once, like the threads will start hanging.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, and like that, it was gone. Like the usual guys are showing, oh my God, J-Hook! Hello, Reggie. Good evening.
134. 134 is my favorite number. That's how many people are watching right now. That's my absolute favorite number. Oh, it dropped down to 131. We need 3 more people. But hey, Reggie.
Reggie, what are you up to, my dear? She's got such a great channel.
Oh, and guys, if you have any, right now we're talking about how crochet has changed our lives. You can comment down below. Make sure you put question marks. Oh, can you take down the Reggie comment? I lost it.
Oops. Okay.
I found it.
Okay.
If you have any, like, what was I saying? Anything to say how crochet has changed your life, let us know in the comments, put question marks ahead. And if you would like to turn crochet into your own personal business, that's why we have Karen right here, other side. Karen right here on this channel. She is professional how to sell your handmade goods. If you want to learn for free, book a free consultation call down below. There's a link. It'll take you right there. Just a little bit of time. That's all.
And I love seeing how people, like, there's so many people who are even just starting. Like, I've been crocheting for a few months. I'm so hooked and never thought it would be so fulfilling. Sat down with hook and yarn, so calm and crazy, like Tom and Crazy World. Absolutely. Like, it's like you could like jump in at any age, like the other lady who just started at 70. Good for you. Like, not everybody has to start at the early ages. It actually is kind of interesting when you start a little bit later in life, because you get a little bit of a different take on what you would like to see crocheted into a garment or whatever.
You know how you said crochet is like being passed down for history. You're preserving something. Somebody had to put me in realization. None of my kids crochet. They want nothing to do with it. I'm like, I'm the last crocheter. Crochet dies with me. But then I realized, how many people have I given a pattern to that gave a hat to their mother, or a child, or slippers? I've touched, as being a crochet designer, I was thinking about that too. That's awesome. I've touched so many lives and didn't even realize it. Yes, my child doesn't know and she doesn't want to learn, and I hope you're watching. You should learn.
Self-plug. Here's a little self-plug for me. Avis, Thank you, my dear. I
Is she a
appreciate
class?
that.
Is she one of your students?
Yeah, she's one of my students. Thank you. Thanks for hopping on, my dear. That's good. Oops, sorry, I hit
There's a
the
David.
microphone.
Wait, I gotta bring up David.
David's on. David's on, our bearded friend.
Hey, the bearded yarn dude. Right now, YouTube and Ravelry are beginning to pay for my health
Oh my
insurance.
gosh. Thank God. Cheers to that.
See, it's the things you don't even think about. Paying for it, you don't have to make this your full-time job. If it can help you pay for those who live in the United States, our health insurance is
I know.
so
I know.
get
But we pay
Canadian.
crazy income tax, like crazy income tax.
I'd rather pay crazy income tax than I know I don't go to the doctor as much as I should. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'm like, if I go to the doctor, it's going to send me for like 3 X-rays, blood tests. I'm like, I'm spending over $1,000. So I'm like, I'm not going to go. You're like, they took my money. I'm going. You know what I mean?
It is a blessing. It is, because like I don't go to the doctor a heck of a lot either. In fact, it's like, I have to book another appointment because they want to see me again. But like it's like it is comforting. Like, thank God when my husband got sick, you don't have to think twice about that part. It's just like,
Mhm.
okay, see this specialist, see that specialist, 3 hours there, 4 hours there. And you don't even have to think about the billing stuff. You just go.
Yeah.
But you got to wait forever.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I don't mean to keep telling stories about crochet changing my life,
No,
but
please. This is like, I love this.
this was I just quit my job a year ago. I was still doing crochet and working at the same time. Crochet was my side hustle. But in 2019, this teenage girl was text messaging on her phone while driving across the bridge with my husband in the front. We drove 2 separate cars that way. He was in the front with my son, and I was in the back, the second car behind him with my daughter. This girl hit him head on,
Oh,
bounced
dang.
off of his car, hit our car. My husband was out of work for like 4 months.
Oh,
We didn't have any type of emergency disability insurance, none of that. We had no income other than my regular job. But luckily, I had crochet to pick up that extra income. If I didn't have that during that couple months he was out of
wow.
work, because I remember when we was at the hospital, oh, well, one of his like 2-week checkup, the doctor said, "Yo, you'll be out of work for so many months." My stomach turned. I ain't
Oh,
rich, guys. My
that's
stomach turned. I've never felt this type of nervousness. I start burping in a doctor's office.
it is scary. It is. And I have to say it's a blessing too, because when something does happen to your family, it's thank God you have that little bit to fall back on. Because I know during COVID, one of my kids was having difficulty. And I have to say I'm blessed that I had something to fall back on where like I made my life like I over like when I hit middle age, I kind of like shifted my life so I
She's
could be
32. I don't know what she's talking about.
what are you talking about? I'm almost 50, but I know.
32.
Thank you.
You're
But
gorgeous.
like
But go ahead.
I wanted to be around my kids more and help them out more. And thank God I could be there for my kids because just like if I worked as much as I used to and I wasn't there for my kids, you never know where they would be because they wouldn't have the support. Just being able to observe them that little bit more when they have like little nuances where you're like, okay, something's wrong. I got to make sure that I can help them and support them. Like I'm so blessed that I was able to carve my life out. So it's more like that.
Somehow our YouTube dropped 100 people just vanished out of nowhere.
It goes to my views on your views because you're on your channel. Like the
Oh, wait,
141 is you because I have a smaller audience.
but how did it? I just seen one for, but how did it switch back and forth? It just
Because
like,
I think when I'm fiddling with my mouse,
oh,
it'll hop over to like looking at my analytics. But yours is way more. Yeah, yours is a little busier.
man. Actually, I'm never at, right now we're at 140. I'm never above like 75, 80, 100 if I'm lucky. Right now we're at 141 because everybody loves crochet.
Yes,
Wait, my
and
girl
we're
Maria,
fun.
she
We're
says,
fun.
I ain't 49, I'm 21 with 28 years of experience.
That's it. That's it. There's magic. There's magic
My
right
grandma
there.
always said, I decided to take this on when I turned 39. I mean, she's 39 plus, so I will be 39 plus forever. It's not a lie.
You know what
I
I
learned. Go
You
ahead.
know what I love though? Like seeing new crocheters that are like under like 30, like those 20 somethings that are making those
It's so
like
fun.
Harry Styles jackets and stuff. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, like the spin they put on style. I'm like, props to you. Cause like I just remember back when I was sewing crochet onto denim when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Like they're doing that now, right? They're giving it the young spin and the
They
interesting
are,
thing.
but they're getting stolen left and right by fast fashion. All these cool designs, these little, I shouldn't call them little kids, these younger fashion designer fiber artists are creating, are getting stolen by Fashion Nova, by just look at it. It's horrible. And I feel so bad. And they don't have the money or the experience in life to know how to fight these things.
That's true. But the truth is, it's like it's hard to fight. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like my girlfriend, like she blatantly got stolen. I think I told this story before about how her skirt pattern
Yeah.
was stolen. She found it. Do you guys have winners there?
No.
Okay,
Well,
like it was like Marshalls. Okay.
okay.
She walked into a Marshalls and they had all of her brand on these other, like on these skirts. And she was like, oh my God. And it was the name of her brand on the same style as of skirt. It was a petty skirt. Oh my
Oh.
gosh. She had to open up a lawsuit. Yeah. Young artist, like us,
Yeah, us
like
young artists.
handmakers, young artists, you can't fight that. But you can create faster than anybody can copy you. It's
Yeah.
so true. And you only have, but if someone breaks a trademark or copyright law, you absolutely should do your due diligence and go after it.
Hmm.
But like when somebody, like if you look like Givenchy and then like Alexander McQueen, I mean, they copy each other. There's
Yeah.
this whole like old thing called like steal like an artist, and it's not really stealing, but who didn't as an artist look for inspiration from one another, right?
Inspiration is different than just outright copying.
True. That is true. Like if you're
Your poor
copying,
girl, she's an indie designer. These are a
oh,
big business that stole from the little man.
I know. Yeah.
Well, let's get to
She's
this, then we'll get back
Yeah,
on this.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forget.
Okay, go.
Jacqueline says, I learned with thread at 13 and started using yarn at 15. It changed my life when people started asking me to make things for them and paid me. So it helped make ends meet.
Oh my gosh. And yes, I'm so excited when people get to that point where people are asking them to make things. See, the demand is always there. Just
Mhm.
like, yeah. Go
I'm going
ahead.
to do
Go ahead.
another shameless plug, but the whole thing about how to market yourself, how to sell things, and what to do if somebody takes any type of your items. Know what you do? You take a class,
Mhm.
such as Down Below by Karen.
Oh, thank you. I just wanted the shame, like we're shamelessly plugging, but I just
Shamelessly
wanted to
plug.
say hi to Handmade Design. She's always on my
Hi.
live.
Hi,
I love.
Handmade Designs. But if you want to learn more about making this more of a business, you can book a free consultation call with Karen. I'm used to being on the other side. We're Karen over here, and she'll talk with you about all of that stuff. So, do
Yeah.
you see anything? I feel like I'm taking over the comments. You
Oh
can hop
no,
in.
I just like I've seen horror stories about big stores selling kits that include patterns copyrighted by designers with no credit. Okay, that's a copyright breach. Okay. Yeah. You like that though is
Or did she
easy to.
freeze?
Oh, sorry, did I freeze?
I don't know. It might have been my end. You're good now, though.
Okay. Yeah, breaking copyright law, that's a little bit easier to prove because like that's written stuff. Like written patterns are much easier to prove, but yeah, when people copy designs, then it's always like a little bit harder to prove, but like I mean, try like one thing I wouldn't want to like put out there is don't let that stop you. Don't like whether your objective is to crochet for charity, crochet for business, just crochet for your friends or crochet for yourself. Don't let it stop you because you might be scared that somebody might steal it. The probability of something like happening like that is
Rare.
slim. And also be careful of like who you listen to. Like fear mongering isn't the way to operate in the arts. Like it's just like the being in having an artistic creativity and talent is to put out there to be shared. I know like you guys probably know like I'm like a Christian, right? But there's this parable where Jesus gets mad at like people because these guys, because they buried their coin or whatever. Well, this guy buried her coin and the other ones spread it out. That's what it's all about. It's intended for you to share. Protect yourself when there's due diligence involved, but like the intent of us having a talent or creativity is entirely for us to put out there and share in the world. So I would like encourage you to do that.
I had to separate myself because sometimes within the crochet community, like I said, that fear mongering is there. I had to separate myself from those people. They're always like, oh, so and so took my idea, so and so took mine. You shouldn't. You know what? Block it all out. Focus on you. Do what makes you happy. Once I realized to get rid of the negative, just crochet. It's yarn. It's fun. It's not like life or death.
Yeah.
It's fun.
From the business side of things, there's certain due diligence things, you got to do, but like, but like in terms of creativity, share like, it's like share as fast as it's flowing through you. It's like, you absolutely must share it with the world. So I hope you take the chance to do it. Oh, David, go ahead, Alysha.
I don't mean to keep picking up the same. It's on me. I write lots of patterns. If one of my designs is inspired by somebody else, I radically acknowledge them. Life is too short to be anxious over this stuff.
Yeah. Go, David. That's a good attitude.
I'm not, you pronounce that. Go ahead. The Bra Wax Co.
The Bra Wax Co.
Hello from Scotland. What would you say from your experience sells better compared to other crochet items? What would you say? Because you're the selling guru.
Okay. This is kind of like a weird loaded question. I hope I don't get too like convoluted. But the truth is, like, it all comes down to this. If you haven't seen my self-plug video on niche, okay, you have to know who your niche is. And your what item will sell better? The one that your niche wants. Okay. So if your niche is like high-end winter accessories, your hats, scarves, and mitts are going to sell better in that niche, right? Mm-hmm. If you are selling heirloom items for christenings and like special events through the years, then what items will sell best? Bridal pillows, christening gowns, like first communion shallots, and whatever. If your niche is bridal, then what's going to sell best? Shoulder covers, the after party like shawl, the heirloom gift that you give to your mother-in-law. So it all begins with knowing your niche, and then like becoming familiar with them, knowing how to communicate with them, and then speaking directly to them. So that is the very loaded, but once you've defined that, it's super easy to figure out what sells best, because once you actually get that ebb and flow of who's coming to you, all you have to do is listen to your customer. Now I'm going to keep going because you've got me going. But like,
keep going. People, if you have any questions about business at all, please comment down below. Put question marks in front of it so we know to bring it up to the front, like the Bra Wax Co. So we can bring it up to the front. Okay.
Exactly. Like I started with, I love hats. I love fedoras. I love like, I love like beanies. I can't make fedoras if I could. Oh my gosh. Can I tell you how many times I almost wanted to be a milliner? Like I took a milliner class. Anyway, getting back on.
So random.
I know, right?
They're endless. But dances too, but that's another one.
I know. Did you see my last short? Okay, now I'm gonna forget what I was saying, but like niching. So like I got into hats, and honestly, my first thought was, okay, I'm gonna sell to 20 somethings who want hip hats and that sort of thing. Eventually, I like every single time I made a sale, I paid close attention to who I made the sale to, got more familiar what they were into in life. I got out there to the shows. When I was in shows, eventually shows for my friends will eventually open up. So like get out there if you can, or at least converse with people on your Etsy shops and that sort of thing. But I would get to know what kind of like lifestyle they had. What are they going to? Like, are they commuters? Are they like what kind of like a lot of them would have certain types of jobs? They're like working corporate or whatever. And then the more you find out about them and like you actually speak with them, the more it's easier to figure out like what other kinds of things. And then they'll just plain out ask you for it. They'll be like, "Do you have the matching mitts for this?" And you're like,
I'll make them.
I'm going to have the matching mitts to that. And just like you build a loyal clientele. That is exactly how I made masks. Okay. And like one of the biggest views I get on my channel is the video I did on how I sold my masks. The reason I sold my mask, like like COVID masks and that when the pandemic first started, there weren't a lot of people selling masks. And then we all went into that whole shortage thing. At least we did in Canada, right?
They work here too.
I had my my most loyal customers were emailing me, Karen, are you making masks? And I'm like, I am now. Right. And then I'm like, but I know how to sew pretty well. And then I'm like, give me a week or two to figure out something that I like. I still have to, when I design, I gotta like it. I gotta love it. Right. Mm-hmm. And then the minute I had it out there, I mean, if my clients are asking me for it and it's something that I feel like I can do well, then I will put something out there because I only put good quality stuff out there. Right. Yeah. The minute I sold, that is the fastest $4,000 I have ever made in 2 days. Right.
Yeah.
It's just, and it just boom. I wish I sold hats that fast, but it was just, you listen to your niche and you double down on what sells best.
Okay, Miss Gloria says, we love Gloria. My grandma patch quilt when I was little, and she had yarn, and I would wrap and I will wrap yarn around a pencil. My cousin taught me how to crochet. Just found out that my great aunt crocheted also. There was another comment here. Somebody said it was in their blood. Who said
it's a
that?
Legacy.
There it is. It's Gloria. I clicked the wrong Gloria comment. This is the one I want to read.
Okay.
Didn't know that I had family that crochet. My aunt said it's been in my blood all along. So my passion, of course, is crocheting and my business. And now I have 1,100 followers on my page.
Oh my God. Good for you. Cheers, girl. Oh my gosh.
It's the little things from a pencil to 1,100 followers.
Oh my gosh. That's
guys,
amazing.
Do you guys have any stories right now how crochet has changed your life? Put question marks in front of it so we can talk about. And if you wanted it to change your life in a more financial way, you can book a call with Karen. The link will be down below. It's a free consultation.
But it always starts with like following your passion. Honestly, that's why whenever I speak to people who like will book like whoever like want to find out more, because like turning it into a business, and it's not for everybody, but it is for some people, right? And like but honestly, the truth is like once you follow your passion, the rest comes easy. And that's really the way I do it. Like, sure, you need foundations for building a business or even setting up anything like a hobby business or anything like that. But like from there, it's all about building something that is going to fit into your lifestyle that you love. Because I admit there are points in my business where I went and I was telling my husband this last night. I went into directions where I thought, okay, this is the natural thing that people in business now do. And I hated it. Like, I never want, and I'm like, and then I backed off and I'm like, okay, I don't want to reach a point in my business where I don't like it anymore and I don't love it because I've loved crochet for so long and it's never going to be something that I put down because I don't like it anymore. Like, I remember when I was younger, I was part of an amazing dance troupe. And then I was part of this.
Told you she was a dancer.
Oh, and then I was part of a dance troupe that was like, not so good, bad influences and that sort of thing. And then they like, I stopped dancing and then I was sad because I was like, I love dancing and I stopped it because of stuff that's not related to dance. So I went back to my old dance troupe and I stayed with them like well into my 20s. But like, you don't want to not love what you're doing. You know what I mean? So that's why I help people build it around what makes sense to them.
Okay. I want to answer this one. Have you got any tips to find good crochet brand names? I'm struggling so much. Oh, there's a wonderful crochet brand. What is it? Canada Bliss. They make such gorgeous hats.
You are too kind.
So make sure you Google Canada Bliss. Great company.
Yeah. Mind you, there was another company who sells cannabis, and they also are named Canada Bliss. I remember when I first found out that they were using Canada Bliss. They're a Canadian company as well. So
She's Canada Bliss.
yeah, they're Canada Bliss Herbal. I'm Canada Bliss Handmade Accessories. And but when I found out, like, I actually wrote them a letter because I'm like, you just approach people on a nice way, and I'm like, hi. Like, it never bothered me that they sold cannabis because I mean that's a way of life now, I suppose, right? But when they started trying to sell like hats, like they were selling like trucker hats with Canada, and I'm like, wait, I do have the copyright on like accessories.
Yeah, you can't.
So I did write them, and they, like, honestly, if you approach it with like a lot of integrity, you can just ask people and like, did you know that I have the copyright and trademark for this? And then they'll be like, oh, they took it down right away. Saved lawyer fees, no cease and desist letter. They're just like, okay, no problem.
And that is the wonderful thing about starting this business venture at an older age like we are.
Mm-hmm.
You're smart enough to be like, no, I'm going to fix this in a
Yeah.
simple way. When you're 20, it's tough. So 20-year-olds right now, watch us. We'll teach you some things. We had to learn this the hard way.
There's no reason to get offended immediately. There is no reason. First, explore like their intent. This is the thing I learned from human resources, because I've been in human resources for like a couple decades, right? You have to kind of like look where the intention was coming from. Do you really believe they were trying to be a bad person? You know what I mean? If you approach them and you bring it up and it's clear that they weren't, problem fixed. They'll probably just take it down. I remember I had my best, one of my very best crocheters who crochets for me. There was one time when I was getting started, and then she was crocheting for me. I was paying her, and then she put on her website an adult women's crochet hat that looked very similar to mine, and then she was using my brim pattern too, and I was like, okay. So does she realize that's kind of like a conflict of interest? Like, you know, so I just asked her, I'm like, oh, are you still looking to crochet for me? Because I see that you're now putting out like your own women's ladies hats. Because if you are, then, you know, it's like a conflict of interest. And it's just like friendly. Like, I love her family. Yeah. And then she was like, oh, no. Oh, I just put like, don't worry about it. I'm not trying to compete. I, in fact, don't ever want to do marketing and stuff. I just made it for a friend. And I'm like, okay, I'm just check in. It's totally, she still crochets to me this day. It's all good. Just go in with the intention that people aren't trying to do terrible things to you. You know what I mean?
Yes. Sonia says, while I enjoy seeing crochet designs, I would love to create my own patterns, but how? I'm only 2 years with this craft. Any suggestion? 2 years with this craft, you are no longer a newbie. I like to tell this to people all the time. You'll be putting yourself into this newbie box. Once you learn those 5 basic stitches, all you need is a good pattern.
I know.
If you want to learn how to be a designer, thank God it is 2022. You can do it yourself. What you need to do is get yourself an Etsy shop and just publish some patterns. And you are a pattern designer. You don't have to mail into, magazines we used to have to do to get things published.
Gosh. I still have my crochet books. Oh, I reorganized my studio. I'm like, oh my God, just 5 years ago, I was still collecting crochet pattern books.
Yeah, or cutouts and put it. No, everything's online. You can be a crochet designer right now. It doesn't take anything. It's not difficult. It sounds difficult, like, oh, how do you do it? Write a pattern. And if you don't know how to write a pattern, what I suggest to do, follow a lot of other patterns. That's how I learned how to write patterns, by reading other people's patterns.
Alysha, let me build on that, okay?
Go ahead, please.
Like, I can already hear the, like, everybody like, okay, but there's so many crocheters out there, so many designers, everybody's making, why should I even bother trying to start? You know, the like, Alysha is like, she's the first advocate of this. You learn those first 5 stitches. You know what happens is once you inject you into that mix, that's when your brand is made. Nobody is you plus everything you make. Okay. That is the part that makes a unique business. And so never are you copying. Like, you may make something that's reminiscent. Like, how many ways are there to make a hat? But there's only you and that hat, one of you and that hat in
Yeah.
this world. So just got to remember that nobody's injecting the same originality as you are.
Yeah.
But if you copy someone, yeah, okay, that's why there's a problem.
And another thing, when you're venturing into this, give yourself some time. She's like, I've been doing this for a year. I've been doing this for 2 years. I've been doing it for what? Now 7, 8. The only reason why I'm successful right now, I just never stopped when other people just said, I give up. I just kept going. I just waited for all other people to fall off.
Yeah. But I think one of the big things that helped me was I found my like community. Like I found people, like you said at the very beginning of this video, like you found people that you surround yourself with that make sense in your life for what you're doing, that are supportive and positive. I think that's one of the biggest things that I found helpful in my life. Because there was one time, like I was growing my Canada Bliss business. I'm going to be like totally honest here, is that I was growing the business and I felt like, okay, if I'm going to create an original business, I totally have to do this all on my own or else people are going to like steal my ideas or whatever. It never helped. You expand your creativity by having like an ebb and flow of energy and creativity with others. So don't be scared to like share your ideas and find community and talk back and forth, but you have to take action on what you're doing. Because I do see a lot of people just hop on like, and mind you, I am on Facebook groups too. I love Facebook groups. I love the people on them, but that's not where I spend all my time. Like I just, like if you spend your all day and you never actually work on creating your business or working on your business, then yeah, you're gonna get stifled. So just keep in mind that you also have to take action for things that you want to create yourself.
Yeah. And I want to talk about, now we're still back on how crochet changed my life and how having a crochet business for me. Yes, we talk about how tough it is. You have to pose, write patterns. But when I look at it, and I've worked in the regular work world and I've worked I still don't know what my title is now. I'm having trouble with my taxes. They want me put me in a bracket. Like, what are you? I'm like,
crochet maven.
I'm a crochet maven. I just lost my train of thought. What was I
I'm sorry.
The crochet maven threw me. Oh, but because of this, when I get upset or I'm frustrated, I can close my laptop, I can put my yarn away, and I can take a break. When I have to go to a doctor's appointment, I don't have to schedule around anybody's hours. When I need to I'm on my own time.
Yeah.
That is my absolute favorite thing in the whole entire world. I am not required to punch anybody's clock except my own clock. And if I decide to work hard, it's only benefiting me and my family.
And that's a funny thing. Oh, list your IG names here. Mine's Karen V Miguel. Yours is Littlejohn's Yarns, right?
Yeah, I'm going to type it in the comments.
Can you type mine too, Karen V Miguel? But like what I was gonna say was, I was gonna build on something you said.
What was I saying? We were talking about. I've been drinking.
Look at us.
I've been drinking. Have you been drinking at all? Where's your cup?
Yeah, I think I've taken more sips than you have.
Let me see. Mine was full. Look. Wait, let me back up.
I've already refilled a little bit, but
you refilled?
I'm gonna remember what I say because I'm telling you it was something poignant, I'm sure.
It was so, yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to what I was gonna say.
Find another one while I type in our apps.
Okay. See here. I always love crafty stuff, but crochet was always my fave. I slowed down for a while, but during lockdown, I did it nonstop because it saved my sanity. I just remembered what I was going to say. Thank you for jogging my memory. But yes, it did save my sanity too, because, and boy, I ended up, but it didn't save my checkbook in terms of like buying more yarn.
Oh my God. Wait.
Here's what I was going to say. It's the funny thing is like you're saying like you can put it down when you want. The thing is like, I crochet for orders. Like I just got out of my busiest period. September through December is like insane for me. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, like how am I going to run Canada? Oh yeah.
They don't know what type of business you have and why are you having these orders. So explain who you are and why you're having these orders.
Oh, okay. Well, I have these orders because I have a company named Canada Bliss. Hold on. Here, I'll show you really quick. Bliss. I'll just Google it myself and then share my screen. Hold on. Oh, wait. Canada Bliss.
While
Since
she's
we're
looking it up,
doing,
she has this awesome handmade, what is it, crochet apparel? Is it
yes.
just hats or?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let me
Okay,
see
she
if I
has
can
it.
share this. Uh, this is my, okay, I'm going to share the window. Where's this? Okay, share. Okay, here's my company, Canada Bliss. Here we go. I have an online company. And the way it got started was because I was asked a little while back to bring my hats to the Golden
Wait,
Globes.
look at famous people.
And
Girl
then
got famous people in her hat. I'm sorry. Go
and
back
it
to
then
you
it got
professional.
on to people like Whoopi Goldberg and Viola Davis and Yara Shahidi and that sort of thing. And then so I I grew the business. And so to this day, even during COVID, it's still fairly busy. But my busiest season for orders happens over September and December because it's cold up here in Canada and the US. I get a lot of US
Yeah.
orders too. But the funny thing was like, okay, I'm filling orders. I'm like sending them out to across like North America and that sort of thing. And you know what I did when I wasn't filling orders? I crocheted for me. Like I was like, I want to make something that I like. So I was like, I made myself like, well, actually, I have a small Addy addiction now.
Yes, nice.
I'm
Keep
addicted
talking
to
about
my
it.
I'm addicted to my Addy machine. So I was making like I made the shrug I just recently put and like I've got some, I'm like I'm gonna share these patterns with people. They're so much fun. If you don't have an Addy, if you can get one, get one, but they're like so like they ship really slow right now because of like supply chain issues across the world. But they come from Germany. This isn't even a plug. I'm just addicted to these
Yeah,
Addy things.
we are not getting any money for this. You
I
just
know.
place the handle and it knits.
I know. And it's just like I love these Addy things, but like I just honestly, when I'm not busy, I still like making things. I'll make costumes for my daughter's theater. Like I just yeah, I was still crochet on my time off. Did I stop screen sharing? Yes, I did. Okay.
Yeah. Here's one from I'm back a little bit. We're kind of behind. I love to create my own patterns. I just finished one yesterday. Just got to get it written. However, I'm unsure you can make a business on beaded scrunchies.
Alysha, would you like to comment what you think? Like if we were
You can make
consulting
well,
the like beaded
one just
scrunchies.
beaded scrunchies alone. No, when I no longer sell my own handmade items, so my information might be dated. That's why I said make sure you take Karen's class. She's awesome at it. I started making everything and anything until I narrow it down to my niche. My niche was hats.
Mm-hmm.
I've made horse cover harnesses. I've made tops, pants, everything. But eventually I narrowed it down to hats. I never started saying, I'm only going to make hats. You might start saying, I'm only going to make beaded scrunchies. You never know.
But if we were to like talk about all the ways that you could monetize your ability that got you to the point where you're selling beaded scrunchies, one, you could sell the physical product.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you could sell the pattern if you wanted, or a variation of the pattern. So you're not selling the exact same thing that you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
You could run classes where they teach you how to make beaded scrunchies. You could teach other people how to make beaded scrunchies. You could expand your category for beaded scrunchies and like do headbands or ear warmers or like other things that are in like the hair accessories category. You could crochet onto hair elastics,
There's so
flowers.
much.
Oh my
See,
gosh,
that's why
that
we're
are
gonna do it.
theme-based. Yeah, like just it all starts with who you've probably made. Okay, so yesterday I got it written up. Okay, so you've written the pattern up. So it seems like you're selling patterns. So yeah, you could expand your hair accessories patterns if that's the way that you like to do your business.
And whatever pattern that don't, if you're having it listed on Etsy, don't expect Etsy to bring you thousands of sales. It's not your needle in a haystack. But don't worry, there's so many other free ways to promote yourself. Make sure you post it on Facebook, not your regular page, but in Facebook groups. They love free patterns, and not just in one Facebook free group. Myself, I'm a YouTuber and I'm a member of 60 Facebook groups. And when I post a new pattern, yeah, I'm nuts.
Now I feel behind.
Girl, get on your Facebook groups. I have it set up. I post Monday through Friday, 5 groups a day. It's detailed. But that is the only reason why I grew so much, because I'm in your face.
Yes.
I posted online, and now my Etsy, I get great sales on my Etsy.
That's amazing. And it's interesting. I think I mentioned this book to you the other day when we were chatting. I just finished reading this book called The Big Leap.
You're telling
And
me. I still got
yeah, I just finished reading this book called The Big Leap. I'm sorry I don't remember the author, but if you look up the name, it's a fabulous book. And it talks about like you were talking about like getting you're not just going to be able to post something on Etsy and then automatically get sales. Yes, that's true, because you do have to build your traffic up. You have to build up your audience. And you also got to be selective with who you think that you want to speak to. That's why I highly encourage people to be strategic when they're building their business, because you can spend a lot of money if you don't have focus, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things is that the way that you get your traffic and your audience and your business going is through expanding that communication and that realm of people that you communicate with and interact with. And Alysha, you're like genius at this, like the 60, I don't know. Oh, that is good. I get it. Like you can, when you get better at time, like you're good with time management in terms of setting aside time when you know you're going to be doing certain things. Sticking to those things is super important as well. Yeah.
I swear, I don't think I'm great with time management. I guess when you do something so often, it just gets stuck in your head, and it's
You
second
think
nature.
you're not, because you do it as a second nature.
It's second nature.
You're amazing at it.
Precious says, can I have a business on just, this is a lot, on just blankets, throws, hats, babies? Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Precious, make sure you book a call with Karen. She's going
If
to
you
help
were
you
to
out with
think
all
of,
that.
if you were to think of like, okay, let me just play with this a little bit. Okay. Babies and adults, like that's a broad, like blankets. What kind of blankets are you making? Are they kind of like luxury blankets? Are they warming blankets? Are they throws? Are they heirloom blankets for newborn babies? That's a whole kind of different niche. If you have experience with knowing what type you would like to make, then it's or like with what people are asking for, you have a better idea of narrowing down who and what you're going to make. If you think in terms of like, say you decide to go with baby blankets, one, they take quicker to make than an entire Afghan, because if once you evaluate how much time you're spending on making a blanket, oh my gosh, an Afghan would cost somebody like $1,000, right? In your time. But like a luxury baby blanket that is a gift that you market as an heirloom item for like newborns and that sort of thing, aunts, uncles, godparents will spend $100 on a blanket for their godchild, which they're going to keep forever. I still have the first sweater somebody gave me to my daughter hanging in her closet. This crochet, it's adorable. I wish I should have brought it down, but they like, I will keep this forever. And the person, I'll bet you they probably spent somewhere between $50 and $100 for it. But the amount of time that I've experienced joy from it is like phenomenal. Like I'm never going to get rid of this. I hope my grandchildren are putting this cute sweater.
Oh, here's one from my new fave, Melanie Williamson. If I buy an Addy, is there anything else you recommend getting with it? Extra needles, if it breaks, or anything like that? You wanted me? What?
I would say, because I'm in comparison to like Alysha, I'm still fairly new to it, but I would say get the Addy tool, because you're going to realize later that you need to do some fiddling for some of the more complex stitches.
Yeah, make sure you get yourself a latch hook, or you can use a crochet hook when you drop your stitches. This will break the warranty on your Addy machine if you buy one of those attachment pieces that goes with the drill. But I bought one, and I was making scarves in 3 seconds.
Okay, you're brave. I will not put that on my thing. I'm scared I'll break my machine.
You see, if you've never seen an Addy machine, what you do is crank, and it just makes a tube or a flat panel. But there, you can put this attachment on a drill and put it on here, and it goes hyper speed, like, and I love it. But you have to be careful. It can break your machine. It breaks the warranty. So
the only thing I would have to say is don't add one of those fast drill machines unless you have a good handle on tension. If
Oh
you don't,
yeah.
if you're not comfortable with tension, because some acrylic yarns do not work well in an
Mhm.
Addy, and if you're not already comfortable with adjusting tension and knowing when your machine's about to snag, then do not put a machine on it, because if you hammer a drill onto it plus put a yarn that the machine doesn't like, you will like it's gonna grind your gears.
Yeah.
That's my
Speaking of, this is what I have, Maria. I have the drill. I don't know if I have the piece. Oh, you talk while I dig for this
yes.
piece. I know I
Yes,
have
that's
the
the
piece.
have you guys seen the
Those are the
YouTube,
talking ones.
TikTok? I can't remember of the person that connected her Addy machine crank ankle to the yes, everybody, there are a number of people who do this.
It was
And
me.
yeah, and
You
it
put this
cranks
on a
out
drill and it
hats.
turns it.
Yeah, it cranks out hats, scarves, whatever so fast, but make sure you only put a tool on it when you've had experience with that yarn humming through the machine, like you know that this machine will work nicely with. Yeah. I personally recommend I love Loops, and this is not a plug. I'm not a sponsor for them or anything, but I recommend Loops and Thread Soft and Shiny. It's like my favorite one for that. Yeah, I really like it.
I
How about
thought you
you?
were about to recommend the loops and thread circular knitter. Did you know they had that?
Oh,
It was what's the name? Michael's. It was a Michael's
I've
circular. It
seen it.
was
I
crap.
wouldn't recommend it. I heard people don't like it.
It was
Yeah.
horrible. Sarah says, "Is this the book, The Big Leap: Conquer Your Hidden Fears and Take Life to the Next Level" by Gay
Gay Hendricks.
Hendricks?
Yes, that's the book, Sarah. Oh, that is so good. Let me just quick on jump on my Audible. Big Leap, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I get the Take Life to the Next Level, unabridged. Yes, I love this book. I listen to it when I'm walking my dog, when I'm done praying at night. I like listen to it all the time.
Oh,
It'll like yeah. Go ahead.
oh, like I said, by the way, if you guys have any questions about business or you want to talk about how crochet has changed your life or just tell us a random crochet story during your lifetime, put comments in front, question marks in front, and comment down below. But
Awesome.
Carrie says, I have over 100 beanies and ear warmers for sale on my website, but no sales. Just booked an appointment is obviously needed. So you'll be talking to Carrie tomorrow.
But no sales, just booking. Okay. I obviously, okay. 100 beanies and earworm. Carrie, I'd be interested to know what sales you have made on your site, because if you already have your ear warmers and that sort of thing on your site, there's opportunity. Yes, there is. There is opportunity. We just have to dive a little deeper. And it's just a matter of like peeling the onion. If you ask like Avis and Catherine, they're on the feed right now too. Like they have dove in deeper and just approached it in a different way. And you'll find that once you know your niche, you know who you're speaking to, you look a little bit more into your analytics, and I'll help you with that. Then you get more specific and it's way more efficient. I'm all about efficiency. Okay. I'm like, I have to say, I'm resourceful and I'm efficient. I'm no like genius or anything like that, but I like to be efficient with how I I help people with their business.
I wanted to say this because, guys, when I say talk to Carrie, it's not because she's my friend. It's because I paid my own money and took her class. One simple thing that has helped me so much: email marketing.
Oh, yes.
I had an email list with 3,000 people, and I never, ever did anything with it. And she's like, what the heck? What are you doing? And I learned how to take these just random people on a list and sell to them. They're just my soul people. They get to hit, well, book a call. That's all I have to say. She helped me. That changed my life. Just as simple as that. There's a lot of other things, but that was one of them.
That's the thing too. It's like a hidden thing, because like people are like, oh, I made sales, but I don't have a list. It's like, you don't have a list of people have already bought from you. Like all you have to, like I show my students how to go to places that they don't realize they already have clients and people, like an audience. It's interesting. I just spoke to a friend of mine, and I don't know if she's watching right now, but hi Sylvia, if you're watching. But she was saying, oh, I don't do a lot of stuff online. Okay, my friend, and she was asking me to code, like I was helping her through it, but like she makes over she's like makes over like 10K a month. But I know. But she's like, she doesn't think she has an audience. It's where you are most often. She's amazing at communicating directly with the community in person because she's always out there in person. That is her biggest audience. But if your biggest audience is Facebook, if your biggest audience is like Instagram, then you're leaving like opportunity on the table if you're not already communicating with these people. You know what I mean? Those are the people who are going, like, you probably know already love the things that you make. So just consider that.
Want to read the next one?
Yeah. Can you make a 2-color hat with 1 color on each side, blue one side and black the other side? Is this for an Addie question? Because yes. And if it's a crochet question, yes. Because you can crochet anything.
Yeah, you can. It's all about just dropping the color. That's all. I shouldn't say that's all to make your question sound trivial. Just Google how to change colors, or just carry the color underneath the row.
Okay, yeah, because if it's Addie, what's the term used when it's double? You know, when you make a long tube and then you put the tube into the other tube for an Addie?
I don't know. But I know
Okay,
what you're talking about. Like when you make the hats and you fold the cuff and
not double brim, because it's not just the brim; it's the whole hat that's doubled, right? With the Addie, I can't remember.
She meant like half hat, half hat.
Oh, see, it's interesting how we totally both understood it differently. That's
Either
how creative
way,
we are.
we just say yeah.
Yeah, you can. If it's with an Addie, then you have to crochet half of it with 1 color and the half with the other. You can put the other half into it, and then when you fold it, you can see the other color. Yeah. But if it's crocheting, yeah, you definitely have to count your stitches and then do the other half when you're making it in the round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like work. That's another story. Let me just read the next one.
Yes.
Crochet has helped me out. You read. I've been drinking. I can't
Quite
do
a
it.
lot of anxiety, and it's taught me patience as well as perseverance in a great way. To gain self-confidence, finishing an item is the best sensation. It is. I love finishing, but then also I'm sad when I finish because I'm like, now what am I going to do? Do you ever get that feeling?
First stitch, it feels like the first step in a mile.
Yeah.
But that last is like,
yeah. It's like pure, when you start and it's like pure potential. Like you're crocheting and you feel that energy of like pure potential. And
then when what my husband can't do.
Exactly. But yes, I admit too, like I love crocheting, just to kind of bring myself down a notch. I do that and yoga, and it's one of the things that centers me. Because what's the best way to keep yarn from tangling?
They're called they're all upstairs. This is little sleeve. They're called yarn sleeve, yarn tangles. I'll leave it after. You ever see what oranges come in? You ever see that stretchy material oranges come in when you buy some fruit? Well, that little sleeve, you can buy those individual through this one lady. I'm gonna have to link it down below, but it hugs the yarn, and so it doesn't tangle.
I think you did a video on this, didn't you? It was Yarn Gadgets.
Yes.
Yes.
And
I've never tried that.
But you can do it with a sock. You can put a sock over top of your yarn.
Okay, do you do a center pull or an outside pull?
Center pull. So let's say you take a pantyhose or sock, put it around, center pull. So therefore, when a ball collapses when you're running out of yarn, it doesn't tangle. You don't get these knots, but you still might get yarn barf when you pull from the center.
Oh, yeah. I hate that.
Once you fix that, it's okay.
Okay, when you have a gadget that avoids yarn barf, I'm like, I need to hear that because that's the worst.
I like this name.
Let's see. Action for aging. I'd like to do Graph-gan work. I make my own pattern, which takes forever. Crochet is therapy.
It is. I love Graph-gans work. My girl, Creative Stitching Diva, she does so many beautiful Graph-gans. Do you make the Graph-gans where you can see like your grandma's face in it? That sounds crazy, but you know what I'm talking about, the detail. Or do you make like a Graph-gans where it's like a cartoon picture? I love the ones that look like people. That's amazing.
I think that's amazing. People who do those Graph-gan things. That's a okay. Here I am. I always think of something somebody can. Have you ever considered? Do you have an Etsy shop, Graph-gan person? Because if you, oh gee,
Your house on fire.
it is. Let me mute. Oh my gosh, that is so
Okay,
loud.
here, go see. Run, go.
Okay, it's done. It's done. Because I'm on fire.
I'm hot. This live stream, 144 people watching.
Graph-gan person, I forget your first name, but have you ever considered putting some of your Graph-gan patterns on Etsy? Because one of the biggest things that you can do is create downloadables for people. And even if you like create the stitch counts for people to like action for aging, yeah. If like a lot of people are looking for stitch counts to make something very special, like say somebody's celebrating a 50th anniversary, you could advertise that you can make a Graph-gan pattern for them, or even like a sweater that they put into a stitch pattern. And then send them the pattern, and it probably takes you next to nothing in time because you're already good at making Graph-gans. That's an opportunity for you.
Oh, back to Precious. I'm definitely booking a consultant, but I have a question. What should I charge for 7-inch marshmallow blanket? That's tough.
Yeah,
This is
pricing.
one of those things. I've never seen a 7-foot marshmallow blanket before. I don't know what stitch you use. I don't know
It
what
sounds
weight
amazing
you bought.
though.
It does. You put weights in it? What type? And a yarn didn't stretch? Girl,
Yeah.
I don't know what that costs, but they need to pay you a couple hundreds of dollars.
Are you using like roving? Because oh my gosh, the amount of time that must take to make, it must just be like, ooh, don't put that in the like, wow, like 7 foot. Okay, yeah, you should definitely, we'd have to work out your pricing. Like how much are you paying for your materials? How much time are you spending on it? How big is what gauge are you using? Can you reduce the amount of time that you are spending on the Afghan? Wow. But that sounds luxurious.
I'll tell you this much before, because when I was selling my own crochet items, I didn't have anybody to teach me how to do it. So let's say I would make something, I would charge I would always undercharge. They'd be like, I made something. I'm like, this looks about $45 worth of work. And then I would start crocheting and realize this thing cost $3,000. And for the next time, if that item ever sold again, I would price up. And
Yeah.
if you're making this, I'm hoping you already have a person in mind for this.
Yeah.
So you should already have a price. Because sometimes it's hard to be like, hey, you want this weighted blanket? And you don't know if there's a market for the weighted blanket. Am I making sense? Can you rephrase that to make it sound better for me?
No, I think it makes perfect sense. In fact, you know what's jumping in my head, and I can't remember if you released this to members only or if you actually already released it. The video where you're like, there's an inquiry about making something for you. Like,
oh, that's tomorrow's video.
Okay, sorry. Okay, everyone, you have to first of all, you got to become a member with Alysha's membership, because the videos she comes out with and shows you ahead of time are hilarious and fantastic. But watch her next video, because there's
Do you want to see it?
That answers this question. Go if you can show it. I think it's one of the cleverest, most funny videos. But then again, I think you're funny all the time.
I'm not funny all the time. This is a cheesy video. Okay, you can share the screen.
It's so good. Show the clip. The clip where you have the conversation.
It's just the beginning.
It's so good.
I love your outfit. Would you be able to make me one, but in the color blue?
I hate when family requests crochet. They're so cheap.
Don't worry, I'll be able to pay you. So what yarn costs about $4, and maybe you can throw me in a hat. I'll pay about $10, and you can keep the change.
It's going to cost more than that, and it's going to take more than 2 scans of yarn. How about $200?
$200? Look,
that's still cheap.
We're identical cousins. I was trying to help you out. Crochet isn't even worth that much. If I wanted to, I can get that online for $20.
That's it.
Alysha. Oh my gosh. You're hilarious.
I'm cheesy. That's what I am.
No, man, you should have gotten into stand-up.
I sit there for 8 years like, how am I going to keep the audience interested in my videos?
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, you got to watch our video that comes out tomorrow because that clip is in it. And I thought that was so funny. Oh, wait, we should go back to the thingy. Oh, wait. Let's
Yeah,
do
you
this
see my
one.
kitchen. Close that.
Yeah, sorry. That's funny. So let me just scroll. Oh, darn. So awesome. Hilarious. And she is hilarious. She's naturally hilarious and she won't admit it because she's humble. I made ugly the word weighted. I may have used the word weighted incorrectly. I just a heavy blanket. It's the stitch is marshmallow. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, that marshmallow stitch. You need to charge twice as much for the marshmallow stitch. Do you know what that is?
No.
A marshmallow stitch. Okay, you know how you can you make a cluster stitch? You can put like 3 double crochets together.
Okay.
For the marshmallow stitch, you can put like 10 double crochets together. Then on the reverse row back, you do a 10 double crochet decrease.
Yeah.
It puckered and it's
Okay. That's a yarn eater, eh?
Is a yarn eater. To move this much, you need like all your yarn to get it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yes, we could just let me just see here. I just finished a hanging towel for a new customer, and I'm going to start working on something for St. Patrick's Day. That's my girl. That's my girl, Catherine. Cheers. Always thinking ahead on the occasion. Catherine has a calendar too, where she plans ahead on what occasions are coming up. Yes, good for you. She's expressive. That's you, my dear.
Who,
That's
me?
Alysha. Yes, you.
Oh. No, somebody told me that once. I think it's because I work with children. Somebody's like, why do you do that to your face? Or like, why are you so... I'm like, we were talking about that. We can't get Botox.
Yeah, because then how would we do all I can't not be expressive. Like I can't get my point across. I'd like jump out of my skin.
Like, can't you see my eyebrows rising?
Yeah. We really, really love crochet. Like that would bug me if I couldn't be like, we really love crochet.
I'm going to get back to crochet. Karen and I talked about this the other day with Botox. Did any of you guys watch that new I Love Lucy with Nicole Kidman? I thought it was pretty good. But where she got me, where you cannot be Lucille Ball if you cannot raise your eyebrows. Come on. You couldn't have relaxed for like 3 months for the role to get in the character? Jeez.
That's so funny. Oh, hey, we have a personal question.
Sure.
Are you ticklish? So where and who is most ticklish? Please answer. I don't know. If
you go first.
Am I ticklish? Yeah. I'm ticklish like pretty much. You're like, okay. I'm ticklish, yeah, pretty much everywhere.
I'm ticklish anywhere, but I am a stoic ticklish person. If you tickle me while you're looking at me in the eye, I'm not going to laugh. I can hold this until you're tired. But if you surprise me, I will squeal so loud. I'm ticklish.
Oh, here, look. This person is standing up. Hi, Alysha. I knitted a sweater as a girl for my mom. Well, as a gift for my mom. My cousin plus size woman, whom I hadn't heard for 10 years, wanted one. I told her $150. She said $60. I said buy. That's right. You know what? If they think that they can, like, honestly, if they want to, if they've seen it at Walmart for $50, they absolutely should get it there.
You know what? And when they say that, I'm going to finally have a video for you to post for them tomorrow. Why their stuff at Walmart is $60. It is child abuse, human abuse, labor, slavery. It makes you want to cry. When you see parts of this video, it's going to make you want to cry just because you want to save a couple extra bucks. Yeah. So you can throw this piece of garbage away later.
And there are numerous like videos on child labor and what they do to make it so cheap. And you know, like, you know, they don't take care of the factories, the infrastructure in their buildings. So, but that's why it's so important. Like it's almost like an opportunity for handmakers right now. Because if you didn't notice, in the last year, there has been a demand for handmakers. Why? Because we are close to everybody around us. And because of the supply chain issues, there's no place to get high quality things that we have been making for years and have been underselling. Okay. Like people, if they want a luxury scarf, how are you going to import that? You know how hard it is to import right now from anywhere in the world? If like right now,
Ask the Canadians.
yeah, well, maybe it's because it's so hard to get it into Canada. But like, if I wanted really good Peruvian yarn, you know how long it would take for me to import that right now with the supply chain problems?
Yeah.
It's very hard. That's why a lot of people like this past Christmas, I had corporate orders. I wasn't planning on doing a lot of wholesale orders, but I took corporate orders from like businesses who wanted to buy corporate gifts for their senior staff and that sort of thing. And they wanted something very special, but it would take way too long to ship. So they ordered from me. And luckily I still had stock and I also had manpower that's like within my vicinity. So I was able to provide like decent pricing for these people and supply. Yeah. So this is a niche that like is open to all of us that you don't realize. You're thinking like, oh, nobody wants what I make. They want what you make. You're probably you can get if they think they're getting it a deal cheaper, they're not going to be able to get it because there won't be any supply for it.
Yeah. Maria, this is my job now. It's my job. I charge a human wage because I need to pay my bills too. And honestly, cost, materials plus $10 an hour isn't that much. It isn't. You know what? I am so proud of you, Maria. You're always on a live stream. I've watched you create these masks, create these this business, donated it to people who needed it and giving away so much for free. This is your job. Like I am proud of you. You've done it. I want to give you cheers. Put your glass up.
Cheers.
Up. Ding. Oh, ding. I'm so proud of you.
Maria, good for you.
And right now, comment down below. Do you feel, I know being a businesswoman can be tough, but what sense of freedom do you feel that you've gained right now? Tell me, write down in the comments. And Karen, same question to you. What sense of freedom have you gained from crochet?
The biggest thing for me that was always important is freedom in my time, like to be able to do what I want on my time, because truthfully, my family needs me during hours that sometimes I used to be at work. And now my work, I can split shift, or I can top heavy at the beginning of the month and batch and do and release later in the month. Like just being like I'm working. And then as a woman, and I know you and I discuss this sometimes, women operate on a monthly kind of cycle. Men kind of recharge every single night, and they do they can wake up in the morning and what was bothering them yesterday doesn't bother them anymore. Us as women, because of our natural cycles, we got crazy energy 2 weeks of the month, and then 2 other weeks of the month we can't stop ourselves from saying profanities. You know what we just have no productivity because it's just I'm just so tired. It's just I know I go
to my manic phase, right?
Right?
Sorry, men, if you're listening. Women, you understand. The week before is that time of the month. I don't know if I'm manic. I was talking to my mom. I don't know if I'm starting to go through the change. I have other women issues, but I just have so much energy. I'm just can't. And I know at the end of this week, the week of my period or the couple days beforehand, I'm going to be crying. I'm going to be calling Karen on the phone oh, Karen,
I just can't.
I can't anymore.
I'm on the same cycle, so I'm I can't either. Let's just take a nap.
Actually, we block each other out at the same time and come back to each other.
Yeah, it's good. If our cycle changes, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh, what? Okay, I'm gonna say your name. We're just gonna say your last name. Love it. What is the name of the yarn link gadget you'd? Oh, I don't know if she uses this. It was called the Cranky. Krankie. I don't know if she's still making it. There's other versions of this, but like I said, use at your own risk. I'm not promoting this. This can break your machine. I've seen people with their machines broke, but I just like it. And
it works for her. And again, use it when you know how that particular type of yarn works in your machine.
Yes.
Freedom of time is very important. The only person to answer is ourselves. And that is so true. That's why whatever you decide to do with your crochet, make sure that it the activities that you have around your craft bring your joy. Whether you turn it into a business or whether you just keep it as a hobby, you want it to be enjoyable.
It reminds me of a story. My mom reminded me right before this live stream, because it's the future. I always call the present the future compared to when I was younger. My grandmother, she taught me how to crochet. She always wanted to sell her crochet, but unfortunately, when I came around in the 80s, she would give me like these crochet oven mitts and these towel holders, and she would make me go to my neighbor's house, and like I was selling candy, but I was selling my grandma's crochet. Like, I have these oven mitts. Would you like these? And some ladies would buy and be nice because I was a cute little tiny kid. But then I thought, like, if it was only 2022, how much my grandma was so much more talented than me in crochet. I'm just a basic crocheter. What she could have done? Guys, there's so much opportunity right now just to make money. You
Right?
can be your local area's crochet guru or sell around the world. It doesn't matter. Whatever you choose to do.
Oh my gosh. The fact that you said you did that, you'd be like using your grandma's crochet. You were a salesperson since you were a kid. You were totally door
I
to
hated
door.
it. I don't want to go to my neighbor. She's like, you can keep half. I'm like, do you want these?
Okay. You're like, okay, half? That's pretty good.
And she was selling them for pennies.
I think I got over my fear early of selling too, because my parents made me get paper routes since I was 12 years old. And just asking people for money at the door, like it just, there's a certain level of like, you already pass your threshold of asking people for money when you're like, can you please pay your $5 newspaper bill? And they're like, we don't have the money right now. Come back next week. And you're like, you do? You know, it's like, I haven't been delivering papers for your house for like 2.5 weeks with no pay.
I'm 12.
Yeah, please. I'm 12. Just pay your bill.
I think this one's for you.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
How do you become a contract crocheter? I love to crochet, but I need to get these items out of my house. Contract crocheter.
It's not exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. No, what were you going to say? And then I'll answer.
I was going to say, we never put it as a contract crocheter, but what you did is basically hire crocheters like her. So she would have to find somebody like you, not you in particular, but expand if you can.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just talk a little bit about contract crocheting. Like, okay, VJ
or wholesale. Just go to wholesale itself too.
VJ, I would say, like, in terms of contract crocheting, you want to be making what people are going to buy. Okay. Yeah. So leave it up. To become a contract crocheter for other people, you probably want to approach them by email or DM them, ask them if they need crochet help. Okay. But the other thing is, I'm going to answer this as a crochet employer. Okay. So how do I hire contract crocheters? I'm going to be completely honest. For my students, I build efficiencies that work for them. For me, it's a priority that 1, I don't spend a lot on shipping. 2, I don't spend a lot on travel when it involves picking up and getting the product to my place so that I can finish the item and then get it out for orders. So for me, and I can only speak for myself, it really depends on what kind of business you want to run as a business. But I hire people who are closer in vicinity to me. Because if anything, like if I have a huge order and one of the things that you can capitalize on when you're a hand maker is the speed and accessibility that you can get the product to your client, right? So if my crocheters are closer to me, and I've hired them, then I know that I can go pick up product faster or it can get to me quicker. Like hiring people that are very far away or even in another country doesn't make a ton of sense for me unless I'm making tons of stock for a huge order that's going to be like way, way further out. So how do you become a contract crocheter? Approach big businesses that are more or less established already, that get a decent flow of business, and then find out if you can crochet what it is that they like. Because what I used to do is hire people who used to crochet like me. I would audition crocheters and I'd see if their crochet looked similar to mine, because as an accessories company, you have to make sure that your specs are always like similar. Okay. So that's why the measurements have to be the same. They have to come out at 10 and a half inches the same. And that's what, so like consider that the person you're working for is going to be looking for that same kind of like those same kind of specs and detail. That's why also I found one time an amazing contract crocheter, but she was also left-handed. And I'm like, darn, I wanted to hire her so bad, but her slant of the pattern went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't send 20 hats that are the same to one boutique with some of the hats going this way and some of the hats going that way. So that's just some insight in what you need to be looking for if you were to doing crochet work.
Okay, Martika. Hi, darlings. Crochet saved my life. I learned 3 years ago on YouTube because of my sickness, and I had to stay many hours at home and big. I'm very big and huge in Spain. Sorry for the bad English. Don't worry. I translated.
She's from Mallorca. Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
What time is it there? See, when you're outside of the Canada and the United States, you got to give some time. I love to know, like, are you up late right now in Spain? That's awesome.
Was there a question in there? She's
no.
Thank you for tuning in from Mallorca. Don't forget to follow me too on Karen V Miguel. Sorry, I'm just shamefully plugging.
Karen V Miguel, you're an awesome crochet business guru. I always say this. I wish when I started selling crochet, there was somebody to lead me on a correct path. Like right now,
I wish there was someone to lead me.
But know what? Now you're teaching other people the way. You're our, like, I don't know. You're our Moses. Thank you.
Moses. Thank you.
Spread the yarn water. Help us through.
I just love doing it. So it's my pleasure.
9:45 in Germany at night.
Not bad. It's after dinner. Cheers to you. It's our aperitif in Germany.
Yeah. We'll probably stay for a whole 2 hours. We got 15 more minutes. What do you think? Just to round it out even?
Yes.
I always see crochet in Neiman Marcus. Have you seen crochet there too?
I have. We don't I only have a Neiman Marcus like Last Call, is it? Neiman Marcus Last Call near me. I don't have a mainstream Neiman Marcus near me.
Yeah. It's not like I shop there because I can't afford it.
I shop at Last Call.
Yeah, you can go there. The Last Call. Last Call, that's where they have their the stuff that doesn't sell or whatever, or their Last Call. But what was I getting at? I don't know. I forget. But sometimes me and my husband will go there, especially when I was selling my own. I would take pictures of their crochet items. I'm like, this is when I would steal their stuff. I'm small brand. It's okay when it's backwards. I'm like, I can do this better. I can do this with Line Brand. you know?
But to this day too, who doesn't use inspiration for your creations? You know what I mean? It's like I still watch fashion shows and get inspiration from them. That's how I get a lot of my inspiration. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's
why she said Neiman Marcus, a crafter's grimoire sanctuary. She was a contract crocheter for Neiman Marcus, but she had a spelling mistake.
Oops. Okay, back in TBE 1980s, I was a contract crocheter for Newman Eisen.
She said it wrong. See, it went down here to this one where she said,
oh, wow. Well done, you. So you have insider knowledge. Girl, you have your own crochet business now. Share.
I have a question. What is
anthropology?
Yes. Do they hire regular people and pay them well?
I told you this.
Did you, or did they pay sweatshop slave labor?
Here's a big reveal, my friend. Anthropology, when you go shop there, it looks like they have their own, it looks like they build from they collect from small designers, right? Yes. And this isn't anything bad against them, right? But what they do is most all of their designers are in-house brands. So they create a line under the name of a designer that they've created to make it look niche. And then they sell their lines under Anthropology, they buy from them. Really, they're owned under it. So it's to create the illusion of marketplace, but they still own the line. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. So for
Huh.
example, I think they own Maven. No, what is it? Where's this? There was a line called Maven or Pilcrow or something like that. That's their own in-house brand, but they create the illusion of designer underneath the in-house brand, and then they source they mass source based on that. So when I used to go to trade shows, I would see a lot of their in-house, like the people that they would source from, and they source from larger manufacturers.
Daniela, hi there from the Netherlands. It is 21:45. What's that? 10:45?
12, 11, 10, 9:45.
9:45. Crochet saved my life. After strokes, I'm now right-handed. Maybe not boutique shawls, but I love it. Were you left-handed before your stroke?
Wow, that's like ambidextrous awesomeness.
I have tried because I have RA, so my hand will act up. I'm like, maybe I can just crochet with this hand.
I had to learn tennis as a left-handed person, and it's hard. There's certain brain functions that just don't happen on both sides.
It's not.
Sylvia, homage. Oh, see, okay, Sylvia knows. I know Sylvia's one of my regular YouTube live people, and she's she's in sales too, so she knows the industry. She's been in it for ages. Girlfriend, you're so I love this community. So okay,
this person loves you. You can read it.
Karen, I've been watching your channel for 3 years, and Alysha always but sub after a while because you both inspired me. Thank you. Oh. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate that. Please sub me. I love subs, right? I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers. And it's so, thank you. Well, maybe I'll hit it in the next month or so.
Could you be making money selling hats?
I know. I love
you're like a wholesale queen. You were like, you should bring up that page with all your, can you share the page with all your celebrities in your hat one more time?
Oh, okay.
Please.
Yeah.
It's already there. I see it.
Where is it? Here?
It's down there.
Okay.
Scrolling.
Oops. Oh, wait. Oh, it's in behind. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's my celeb favorites. I don't even have
celebrities that has on Karen's hat.
I have more. I have a folder of all the celebs I have in it, but I put the ones that people recognize because the funny thing is, most people don't, if you ever meet a celebrity in person, it's hard to recognize them.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I remember. Okay. Oh, sorry. Do you know who Mekhi Phifer is?
Yeah.
Do you know Mekhi Phifer? Okay, I met him at the Golden Globes, and I remember when I met him, some people come with an entourage of people, and some people don't, and some people you don't even recognize. Okay, but I remember Mekhi Phifer. No entourage. Okay. I think maybe his business manager was with him, but he was in some other room.
He hasn't had any movies or whatever. So maybe that's why.
Well, he was at the Golden Globes when Divergent was nominated because he was in Divergent, right? But he was walking around, and then I remember I was just it was not busy at the time that I saw him. And then he walked up to me, and literally I just saw him. And I went, oh, hey, literally. And he's like, hey. And I'm you're famous. Do you want to see some hats? And he was just totally chill. And I'm like, you want to try this hat? And I was like, yeah, what you got here? And I'm like, oh, here's this. And I ended up getting a photograph of him in a red hat. And then we took pictures together. And he was I think he liked my assistant because she was this French girl that I brought with me. But anyway, he totally hung out with us for 20 minutes, half an hour. He's like, I like your vibe and all that. So I'm that was
just hanging with celebrities, you know.
No, but it's funny because some people are celebrities are just truly regular people. If you treat them like regular people, they're like regular people. They are. They're just.
Well, the next time I run into a celebrity, I'll just treat them like regular people, you know. This is how good Karen is. She's managed to market herself to being regular people with famous people.
But that's the thing, Alysha. They're all like you. When you talk, when we finally got to talk face to face, it was my interaction with you was exactly like when I met Viola Davis. She was just hey, and I'm hey, and then her husband.
Viola Davis is a queen.
I know. And she already made the help. I almost like myself when I met her, but her husband was just like, Karen, we're gonna help you. And I'm like, okay. Oh my God, I love you both.
See, I'm like knit and crochet tiger. Whoopee! It was that Whoopee! I couldn't. I'm like, Viola! Is that,
Whoopi was more like, don't get weird on me, all right? Like she looked at me like when she, and I'm because like when the producers brought her to me, I was like, oh my, and then like I usually don't geek out because I know they feel uncomfortable when you do that to them. But I was like, and then she looked at me like, don't freaking geek out on me because I won't like it. And I was just like, hey.
She stopped you. Wow.
She's like, calm the F down. Yeah, no, I was just like, I had to calm down. And she was very cool. And she let me like, and then after that, I'm like, do you, I'm trying a hat, whatever. That's hanging with celebrities through crochet. Yes. But honestly, whether you're meeting a celebrity or you're doing a craft show and someone walks in your booth, you greet them, you give them a warm hello, and you show them what they want to see. It's exactly how I treat each and every person who wants to like see what I've got to make. And that's how you do the same thing. But
let's give some love to our Southpaw crocheters. It's hard out here for Southpaw crocheters. It is. I learned, somebody told me this. I thought this was the most extravagant thing you had to do to follow a crochet video. They put their crochet, like they would watch a YouTube tutorial for a pattern and place their laptop in front of a mirror so they can follow along to the crochet tutorial.
Oh my gosh. You know what? There's a market out there. If your jam, see, here I am again, but if your jam is like, oh, I've always wanted to make a YouTube channel, I don't think there's enough left-handed patterns out there. So if your jam was like, oh, I've always wanted to make like videos or whatever,
you corner the whole market.
Oh my gosh. Like there are some who shoot in both ways. I think who's a big YouTuber who shoots both ways?
Isn't Bella Coco? Or?
Maybe, yeah. Bella Coco will shoot left-handed and right-handed. I think she's ambidextrous. That's one of the ways that she also like gets her views up.
They flip the tutorial.
Really?
All you have to do is image. I've done that. I've taken my YouTube tutorial and just mirrored the image, and now it's for left-handers.
Oh my gosh!
We're not ambidextrous.
You see how I'm still learning? Okay, they totally had me on left-handed.
They're not skilled. I got left-handed videos too.
Oh my gosh!
Since my channel is mainly for right-handed people, YouTube's algorithm doesn't know what to do with my left-handed videos. But if your videos are solely left-handed, trust that algorithm to only deliver it to left-handed people. So you would corner the market.
Yes. And how will we do that? Through keywords too. So yes. Alysha is like the bomb at her analytics. So you totally have to check that out. But yes.
It became my thing.
Crafter Grimoire Sanctuary. She's left-handed. Bonnie Bay does left-handed. Oh, does she really? I did not know that. So yeah. But anyway, oh my gosh, we're nearing close to our threshold of 2 hours. How did we talk for 2 hours?
And it never dropped below 130 ever.
I know.
It hit the highest. We've had 160 people over at the top.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? And I get verbose when I start drinking. I think one of my answers was really, really long.
I feel bad when I start slurring my words. I'm like, do they know I'm not intelligent right now? Do they know I'm just rambling?
Yes, exactly. Let's see. Let's give some shout outs to some people.
Okay. This is shout out time.
I once met a major crochet writer and intended to show her pics on my phone at work, but I think I showed her pics. I didn't. Yikes. Okay, that's like an X-rated comment. You know, it's funny because at the end of me and Alysha's streams, we always get a little bit X-rated. Melanie, thank you so much. You're kind. Okay, we got a ting. 1, 2, 3, ting, to Melanie Williams.
Oh, we're very entertaining. I would drink more. I wasn't going to show you this, but I'm tipsy enough to show you. I emptied my bladder in my box. I had to take out the box.
Oh my gosh.
The wine is gone.
Oh yes. Wait, who is the company that gave you that one?
No, I drank all that company's wine. This is my own purchased wine. Luckily, Bright Cellars, I did a sponsor through them, and I received 6 bottles of wine. I drank it all. Me and my husband.
But she's sponsored, so she's like fortunate that someone is like giving her like, you know.
No, I've become such a drunk on all of my live streams and my videos. A wine company sought me out and said, "You're for us."
Yes, you're for us. And she actually ran out of yarn before the live stream. Not yarn, wine. Wine and yarn. They're equally as important in our lives. But anyway, Alysha, did you want to wrap up? So I'll just ladies and friends, if you want to book a time with me to chat about anything related to things you're trying to build with your crochet business, feel free to below. And Alysha?
And don't forget, I wrote this down. There is a live workshop. When is the workshop? I just wrote it on a note. Your live workshop.
Oh yeah, I have a live workshop coming up on marketing strategies for your business or like crochet business on February 10th on my channel. So hop over to Karen V Miguel and don't forget to set the reminder for the live stream on February 10th, which is Thursday.
That whole workshop is free.
Yeah, it's free. So just hop on and I'll show you like different marketing techniques for different stages of your business. And if you're still wondering, if not, feel free to book a private free call with me. And then we can carry on the conversation from here to there.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Book that call with Karen if you want crochet to change your life. It's changed ours, and I've taken her class, and you're my best friend now.
Yes.
All right, guys.
So I guess we'll see you. Bye, folks. Mwah.
Mwah.